Did Fanatics fake the Paul Skenes 101 debut patch pull from the 11-year-old? We about to talk about that. Let's go. What up, Chicken Nuggets? Dr. Tyler Tarver here with the Sports Cards Are Dope podcast. If you don't know that by now, first off, that's cool. I get it. We just started. No shame in the game. No slay in the... Hey, that's weird. Okay, so today we got a fun little follow-up to a video I did a week or two ago about one of the biggest and most talked about cards in the sports cards collecting hobby, the Paul Skenes debut, MLB debut 101 patch that was pulled. Everybody's chasing it. The estimated, I think it's up for auction now on Fanatics Collect is what I heard. I haven't looked, should have researched it. And I'm not the best at research. Actually, I'm pretty good at research because, oral dissertation. I don't like to brag, but I like to tell the truth. But I didn't research this. So maybe I'm not good at preparation. Yeah, that's it. Preparation T, much lower than preparation H. So when I made that video talking about the 11-year-old that pulled the card, and a lot of times whenever these big cards are pulled, there's a video, a lot of times it's pulled by breakers, and breakers are always filming, so you got these clips, and there's always proof of it. And what's happening now is that this huge patch card is it's now gone into the Venn diagram of conspiracy theories. And so let me lay out the conspiracy theory, like Nate Robinson against Jake Paul. This kid allegedly pulled this Paul Skenes 101 debut patch, and it's one of the biggest chases out of, I believe, Topps Chrome update. You should know that, Tyler. I don't collect everything. I know a lot about Jordan Poole rookies. I know a little bit about Steph Curry cards, and that's pretty much it. I know a lot about 1996 EX 2000. You give me a name, I'll tell you an estimated price range because your boy been collecting. I know what I collect, okay? And then if I buy a collection, one of the things I love about buying a new collection is you get like a chunk of cards. You're like, okay, I need to look into this. This seems valuable or this seems shiny. I need to look into it. I love learning about it, but it's like I learn about them in sections. I don't just know all things. So I think it was Topps Chrome update. At least that's what it said when I Googled it. So hopefully they ain't a lot of your boy. So some collectors think that Fanatics has made this kid up to drum up publicity. They think it's a big publicity stunt, and they think that Fanatics, this company's $1 billion plus company, has gone to the level of writing fake journal entries, which they publish the journal entries as like written in pencil and they underline in red. And here you go. I was like, can we proofread this thing? That'd be pretty fun. I should proofread it as an educator. That was math. Don't matter. Even the links of doing that. And then Paul Skenes, I actually saw this yesterday. Paul Skenes went on Seth Meyers' show, and the first thing they talked about was that debut patch, talked about being pulled by an 11-year-old, which I'm assuming he went there because like Fanatics had the connection. Great. That's more marketing for the sports card hobby. That's awesome. And I do love that. I love that Fanatics is trying to market this hobby. Some people are like, no, keep it secret, keep it safe. Here's the deal. Like, why would you not want, if you're a real collector, that means you have stuff and you've got a lot of the stuff you might want. If you don't, it's already priced out for you. Guess what? That means that it's going to go up in value. You can maybe sell it and then buy the big thing you couldn't afford before. So I'm just throwing that out there. People that complain about like everything. But then again, not everybody complains about everything. There are some people that complain about everything. But I think on any post, you're going to hear pros and cons, positives and negatives. That's about everything in the world. So internet's a big place and there's a lot of trolls. And so I'm not saying that these people are trolls, but there's a lot of people that are suspecting that. And it going on Seth Meyers, that's another visibility. Like if Fanatics was lying, they're like, okay, let's make it even more public. This has happened. And I want to say this, Paul, I know he's a longtime listener. Paul went on there and he was like, how do you feel about an 11-year-old? He's like, I'm better than a 50-year-old. Who would just, I don't know if Seth had to carry. It was like Seth was making this like a talk show Mad Lib for this dude because this dude's personality, he's got like great value brand personality. He's very lucky. He's good at throwing baseballs, or else I doubt, he'd be probably dating who he's dating because it ain't, I mean, maybe he's funny off camera. Maybe he's great. But also maybe he's just a I don't know, a melted potato. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that would match that personality. He's like roasted marshmallows. That's not even, I'm not even good at this. All right, so there's a theory. Sorry, I got distracted because I was trying to come up with a better line, and I just sank that toilet, kept spiraling around. So the theory is is the reason this is catching traction with some people is because there's no clear video of being pulled. We have not seen the kid because they haven't posted a photo of it. And the internet loves conspiracies. I don't know if you guys have been around in the past, I don't know, 5 to 10 years. The internet loves conspiracies. They want to feel like, and I heard this the other day, and it doesn't, because there are some conspiracy theories that turn out to be true, but I think it's a very, very small percentage. And I saw this, I could say I read this research study. That just means I saw a TikTok or read a meme. There was this meme where it said, the reason some people really like conspiracy theories is because they want an easy way to explain something they don't understand. And so if you have kids, like me, I post a lot on the internet, like making videos. Like I would have probably posted a video of it. That's just because that's our family. My daughter has a YouTube channel. Like we all like being in the videos. I never force my kids to be videos. I'm like, do y'all want to be in a video? If you haven't seen them in a video in a while, it's because they said, no, I'm good. I'm like, okay, cool. And I've never forced my kids to be in a video. Never. To my knowledge, never. And I ask them before they post it. There are times when we make videos and Finn's like, I don't want that. I was like, okay, we won't post it. And so like I always check with my kids. And it's just, we're just a little different about how we handle that and how I view it. So not right or wrong. That's how we view it with our family. But I can also totally understand as a father, if you're not comfortable with the internet, you're not comfortable with this stuff. And as we've seen, there are good, there are hesitant people, but then there's also straight up trolls on the internet. And your kid just pulled a $500,000 card. I think that a part of me would think through, do I want to post this video? Because especially as soon as you pull it, because then you got people trying to rob your house. They're analyzing, especially me making videos, they're analyzing like house numbers, street numbers. They're going to find your house. They're trying to intercept your mail. Like I know that some people, one of the things that led to the conspiracy is like, it's already graded by PSA. First off, they're going to grade it immediately when they get it, but it's been redeemed and then graded. The kid pulled it. He got it for Christmas. He opened up apparently one hobby box, got the card. And then I assume he sent it in immediately, reached out to Fanatics. As soon as they saw it, they've been sitting there wanting somebody to redeem that thing because they want, to start this publicity tour that they started with Skenes. And it's perfect timing because, it's out of season, so he can actually go to some of these. And so they're pushing it forward. And then it goes to PSA. It's going to go through quick. I would assume Fanatics might even have paid for the PSA thing. It'd been their interest to do it because it's going to cost a lot of money because PSA upcharges anything good. So here's my question I want to ask. And I always like to ask this because, yes, you can look at evidence like the kid's not on video. We don't have proof here. It's helping Fanatics. Of course, all those things can be true. But I like to ask this. Why would Fanatics risk it? Why would Fanatics risk faking this? Okay, so think logically with me. Fanatics, they want to dominate the sports card space, not for a year. This is not, if this was Panini and this is their last year with the licenses, I could see them trying to do this to push product. They're holding it. I could see maybe where that would make sense because they're about to be out of the mainstream part of this. They'll be a part of it, but it'll be like the upper deck. We got a few people. We signed Caitlin Clark. We signed so-and-so. It's like the back end of it. But it's not the main chase. It's not the ones with the logos. It's not the one with the licenses. Fanatics wants to be in this for decades. This is not their only product. It is not their last product. They have billions, with a B, billions in assets. They own Tops. They run Fanatics Live. They have, they're in the gambling space. They have so much money invested in this industry. Why would they risk all of that for faking? That's committing fraud, essentially, and faking this one card pull for this one product to create a buzz. I think they have been waiting on it. I think they've been prepped and ready, and they were like, let's do this, because this has already gotten a ton of attention before it was ever pulled. Pirates making a bounty, Livy Dunn chiming in, like all this stuff happening for this debut patch that they really care about. They want to push it because then they want next year the same. They want to grow that. I understand that as somebody who does business and does marketing. I want to grow stuff and get more attention. So it makes sense they were going to push it no matter what. All right. Think of this. If a breaker would have pulled it, would there have been conspiracy theories? Oh, they're loading it. They're loading it for their breakers. Or, say somebody off their app. I heard this on Sports Cards Nonsense. Much better podcast, by the way, if you ever get a chance. Like, I think Mike said, well, if, backyard breaks, they're on whatnot. If they would have pulled it, people are like, oh, it's backyard breaks. They're just trying to pull people over from there. Like they would have tried, anything that would have happened would have been a conspiracy. Okay. And if this person would have posted a photo of their kid, Like there would have been people thinking it was fake. The kid was paid off. All this stuff. Like there's the internet. You can find someone saying anything you want to believe on the internet. Okay, and I'll talk about that more in a second. But here's the thing: if Fanatics got caught faking this, it would be Dunzo. It'd be Dunzo, like probably the name of a Muppet. There's probably got a Muppet named Dunzo, right? They're risking their entire reputation on one card, and that would be a terrible business decision. The reality, these big cards get pulled by random people all the time. And whenever it's not someone with 100,000 followers on Instagram, people get suspicious. People get suspicious when it is somebody with 100,000 on Instagram. And even though we can look and see how much product they're pulling, like it even seems, I get, oh, it's $1. Really? Like more of these come out of people that pour more products. That's how math works. Okay? So here's a thought. When people work remotely, here's why I want you to think this. I'm sorry, I'm trying to gather the thoughts on the best way to say this without being rude. The people, and I haven't interacted with anybody personally. I've seen some comments online, but it's gained traction because there are some people that think it. Some people think that this company is doing shady stuff behind the scenes. I want you to, if you had to go remote back in 2020 with work, or maybe you're remote now, had you ever heard a boss say something like, we don't want them working remotely because then they're not doing work. They're sitting at home watching Netflix all day instead of working. And if you're like me, you're like, I'm at home and I'm working. Yes, I can go eat lunch in my kitchen, or I can pause for a minute and do this, and then I come back to I get the job done. I still work while I'm at remote. Whenever someone tells me, in my experience, as superiors or the people that work underneath me, if they say, well, if somebody's at home, they're not going to work, they're just going to watch Netflix. What you just did is you admitted when you are at home, you are not working, you are watching Netflix. You didn't describe people describe situations that they see themselves in. Yes, you can have understanding, you can see perspective of other people, but people are going to default and truly believe, for most people, what they would do. So the people that jump out and be like, oh, they're doing this, they're lying behind the scenes to make money. Those are probably people I don't want to do deals with because they're probably lying behind the scenes. They're probably shill bidding cards. They're probably thinking their cards are worth more because of blah, blah, blah. Or they're trying to win over on a trade on the kid because of this, this, and this. Like those are people I would be suspicious of, are the people that think that everybody's up to something because they are probably up to something. What was it, that one dude, he literally called himself the hobby watchdog. I can't remember. There was some Instagrammer that turns out they were one of the biggest crooks in the hobby, and they were calling themselves the hobby watchdog. Like they were out trying to catch people to try to get the focus off of them. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. But the internet, if we look at the internet, I do a lot of stuff, do a lot of work on stuff on the internet, a lot of things, education, virtual trainings. The internet is an echo chamber. The internet is an echo chamber. And here's the thing. If you Google hard enough, you're going to find proof of whatever it is that you want to believe. Aliens, yippers. Men in Black was actually a documentary, okay? You could say Earth's flat. Here's the entire internet. There's an entire internet subculture on this. Kyrie fell into that wormhole one night, made a comment at an interview. He'll never live it down, ever, okay? If you want to say that, so-and-so is better than LeBron, pick a player. Not even Michael Jordan. Pick any other player and say they're better than LeBron James. Some guy with a blog is going to back you up somewhere, okay? So you're going to be able to make up something that justifies anything if you search hard enough. So when I was working on my dissertation, give you an example. I was working on my dissertation because I legally have to bring up that I have a doctorate because I don't ever use it for anything, and it was very expensive. When I was working on my dissertation, I had to look at like 60 to 80 different research studies, and these are peer-reviewed research studies. This is like about as truthful as you can get on the internet because it's peer-reviewed, it's academic articles. Like these are things that are vetted through the top experts in different areas. So I'm having to like go through all these. And there was a research study done it was like a year or two after like COVID pandemic hit, and they were analyzing the validity of these videos about COVID online, on YouTube specifically. And of the top 100 videos about COVID, which was a big deal. People are dying. Like it was a lot. Things are shutting down. It was a big deal. Okay. But if you remember, there was a lot of misinformation going around as well. Of the top 100 videos, this peer-reviewed article, like peer-reviewed research, as legit research as you can get, they found that right at 1/3, I think it was around 34%, 32 to 34% of the top 100 YouTube videos on COVID were made by actual medical professionals. That means 2/3 of these videos, the top 100 most viewed videos, 2/3 were done by people making noise, trying to get clicks. This applies to sports cards too. When people want a scandal, they'll find a way to create one. I saw a TikTok of Daniel Tosh. He's a comedian, had Tosh.0 forever. By the way, I was on Tosh.0. 2 different episodes, 4 different clips. No big deal. Don't like to brag. Got me some views. One of the vids, 2 million views. Who likes to brag? Not me, but I also like to be honest with you guys. Why did I talk like I was in Greece too? Sorry. Oh, that was ridiculous. I apologize for everything that just transpired. I saw a TikTok of Daniel Tosh, and he's talking about conspiracy theories. And he's like, no, I don't believe most conspiracy theories because I don't think people are that good at keeping secrets. Think about it. Have you ever spoken to like your local politician? Like, if you start asking them or diving down, we had this big education bill that happened in Arkansas a couple years ago, and I got to talk to one of the guys on it. After like 2 questions, I was like, oh, this dude doesn't know what he's talking about. Like, he has no clue what he's talking about. He's literally just making up stuff. Like, you could tell within 2 questions because I know a lot about education. He didn't, but he made a bill that impacted all of education. So you can't, like, they can't even hide stuff when they try to hide it, when they try to fluff it up. The sports card world is the same. If somebody inside Fanatics faked this pull, it would have leaked by now. Like, it would have gotten out. If it was a big production, all right, who's going to write up? Who got kids' handwriting? Okay, who's going to make the post? Who's going to do this? Who's going to... The real reason, and then then you could track the money. It's going to go to the auction. It's going to go here. Like, you're going to be able to track money as well. The real reason people don't believe this pull, I think it's just more fun to doubt it. It's more fun to create these stories. Okay, so I'm going to give you just a real quick rundown. These are three of the greatest, not the 3 greatest, but 3 of the greatest sports conspiracy theories. So if you love a good hobby conspiracy, here are a few legendary ones for you. Number 1, Michael Jordan's secret suspension. So you may have heard of this. Theory is that in 1993, when MJ, he just got done on his 3-peat, he's in his prime. Dude, you think he's going to win? How many is he going to win in a row? He's going to win 5, 10 in a row. And then he retired to play baseball for a year and a half. Because, and he said it was because, his dad had just passed away. His dad they connected on baseball. His dad loved baseball. He wanted to play baseball, so he wanted to give it a shot. Birmingham Barons. Should have worn that jersey. Didn't. Bad planning. Hey, we already talked about that. The theory, sorry, I had to burp inside my head. The theory is that he quit for a year and a half because he had a year and a half suspension from the league for gambling, and they didn't want it to get out. He was gambling on basketball, on himself. I'm knowing Jordan, who was obsessed with gambling, so I could see where that's linked. It hasn't been proven yet, and he actually even addressed it in The Last Dance. He mentioned that whenever he was talking about that break. Could it be true? Maybe, maybe not. There's a lot of people believe it. There's a lot of people who don't. So the reality, I don't know. I'm not MJ. Second one. So I really don't want this one. I'm like, I could see that. I could see that. It was very into gambling. All right. Number 2, the MLB juiced baseballs. Have y'all heard this? This was like really popular in 2019 because there was a big home run spike, and people were saying that was because MLB made the balls more aerodynamic. Yeah, that might be true. Baseball's been needing some better marketing, so allow people to use your clips on the internet. That's the trick. Instead of screenshots and pictures, let them use the videos. That's why football and basketball are doing a lot better. And the third one is that the NBA rigged the 1985 draft for the Knicks because they wanted New York to be good. The reality, if you ever seen the video, it does look kind of sketch. So I'm not going to lie about that. Final take on this. Enjoy the hobby. Don't overthink it. If it frustrates you, move on to a different story. Okay? I get it. The Paul Skenes card, that was insane. Like, I wish I would have gotten it. But I think I had pretty low odds because I never ripped any boxes that had it. So unless I found it in the singles box at my local card shop, I probably wasn't getting it. All right. A random kid won this card. Whether, I don't know what they're going to do with it. Hopefully they invest it well. Hopefully invest in real estate. That'd be smart. That's what we did with a lot of our stuff. We didn't get no card. I just worked for a long time, made a lot of YouTube videos on education, spoke at some schools, and that's how we're trying to do some real estate stuff. That's what I recommend to the kid. Buy you some rentals with it, and it'll give you money the rest of your life. So I don't know. How much you guys think it's going to sell for? Throw me in the comments if you're on YouTube. How much do you think it's going to final sell for? And I don't know. This might be after the auction ends, but I would love to know. So somebody's like, I'm going to be very accurate with my guess. Internet wants drama. A lot of people want drama. There's some people that like, I'm just pointing out these, they just love that drama. They love that agitation of people. And that's just some people are wired. And so not everything's a conspiracy. Some conspiracies are true, but not everything's a conspiracy. And I think it's because most people aren't good at keeping secrets. And if Fanatics was going to cheat, this would be a really dumb way to cheat, in my opinion. So, moral of the story, don't let the conspiracy theories stop you from enjoying this sports